So this is a Bailey Ranger GT60, just going to take you around the van, show you how it operates. Front of the van you've got your hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake, and we'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker you've got your 2 gas bottle tie downs with your gas regulator on the bulkhead. The gas pipe work is available here on site separately. On each side of the van at the front you have your wind down legs to stabilise the Caravan. They are just there for stabilising the van, they're not there for lifting the Caravan. You've then got your water pump connection down the side of the Caravan, so you very simply pull the blue trigger back and push it into the side of the van and lock it into place and drop the pump itself inside the aqua roll. You've then got your heat trimmer heating and hot water vent flue. You need to remove this cover prior to igniting anything on gas inside of the Caravan. Motor mover and wheel nuts, we'll demonstrate the motor mover to you here on site, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts so you can see they've been done to the correct manufacturer settings prior to you taking the Caravan away. 2 vents on the side of the Caravan are there for the fridge system, so essentially they'll take in some cool air and also let the hot air out the back of the fridge system. And behind one of them there's also a gas flue, so when the fridge is running on gas the gas system can breathe essentially. You've then got your toilet flush tank, so you'll open this up with the key. You put in 3.5 litres of water and a capful of the pink fluid prior to use. In the bottom here, you've got your toilet waste cassette. Release the toilet waste cassette by pulling up the orange handle. The orange neck turns out so you can tip the waste away. And you put 1 litre of water in through the cap here prior to use and a capful of the blue fluid. On the back of the cassette you've got an orange pressure relief button. That orange pressure relief button is simply there to allow the pressure out while you're tipping the waste away. You won't be able to remove the cassette if the toilet flap is open inside or the toilet is turned, but I'll explain that to you in more detail when we go inside the Caravan. On the back of the Caravan you've got your 2 wind down legs to stabilise the van. They are just there for stabilising the van, they are not there for lifting the Caravan. Coming down the door side, you've got your battery box with your battery in there. Quick battery terminals on top, 12mm nut to secure them, so if you ever need to release them you'll need a 12mm spanner. And then you've got your mains power lead coming into the side of the van from the power on site. Going on to the inside of the Caravan, as you come in the door on the left hand side you've got your main control panel with your lights on, awning, so you've got your internal lights, your awning light, your master power switch. You'll need to have this on before you get any power inside the Caravan, and you've got your water pump power switch also on the right hand side bottom here. At the top here you've got a voltmeter for your battery system on board the Caravan. First thing we're going to do is fill the water system up on board the van. So we're going to come underneath the seat on the right hand side front. Underneath here you'll find a yellow drain down valve. Now that yellow drain down valve needs to be parallel with the floor prior to filling the water system up. If that valve is upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat, all of the water in the systems on board the van will drain straight out onto the floor underneath the Caravan. So parallel with the floor before turning the water pump on. At that point, once you've got that yellow valve shut, you can come over to every tap on board the van. You'll actually notice I've already filled the system up, but you'll open all the taps up on the hot side, as you can see here, so you make sure it's on the hot side. Open all the taps up, and then turn the water pump on. Once the water pump's on, the water system will start filling up and it will start drawing the water inside the Caravan. And once the water system's full, you'll have water running continuously out of every tap on board the van. At that point, once you've got water running continuously out of every tap, you can turn all of the taps off on board the Caravan and you can start thinking about warming the water on board the van. Now you have 2 ways of doing that. Below the seat on the right hand side you'll see you've got your water heater electric heating switch. So you turn that on and the water system will warm up on electric. So once that's on, it'll be a preset temperature around 35 to 40 degrees, and if you want to boost the water system for showering on board the van you'd need to use the gas supply. So I'll take you through that now. So you can turn that one off for the water heating on electric. Gas water heating, you have a dial up on the wall here. Now you will need to make sure obviously you've got the gas turned on, and prior to trying to ignite this I'd just go over to your hob and make sure you've got gas coming through to your hob itself, because that is generally the last point on the gas system. To ignite the water system on gas you've got this grey dial here on the outside, and you'll spin it round to the flame symbol. Green light behind here will will come on when the water system has ignited. If it fails to ignite, you'll actually get a red light appear behind here. You should see that in a moment. You should see that potentially in a moment. To control the water temperature on gas, you've got a dial here between 30 and 70 degrees of water temperature. Obviously, the higher you go with the water temperature, the hotter the water heating is going to be. Like I said, you would need to use the gas system for boosting the shower or the water heating for when you're showering on board the van. So that is your gas heating, water heating, sorry. Next up, we're going to go to the heating for the Caravan itself. Now, on the opposite side of the Caravan, you've got a dial that looks very similar. Just here, it says Ultra Heat, and again, a switch below. To get the electric heating to work, you're going to need to make sure this switch at the bottom is turned on. Then you're going to need to turn this grey dial to the correct power supply down the side, and that will depend on the amount of power you got coming to the Caravan from the Caravan site you're on. For instance, you may have 500 watts of power available from the site, or 2000 watts. So you'd select the relevant power source, then you just control the temperature of the heater on the dial in the centre. The higher you go to 9, the warmer the heater will be. If you want to turn the heating back off, you spin it back to the off position here, and you can also turn it off just below as well. You can also run the heater on gas, and that's very simple to do. Again, you'd make sure the gas is coming through to the hob. You spin the dial round to between the 10 and the 9, hold the gas valve down and hit the igniter on the right hand side. Once it's ignited on gas, you'll have a pilot light through this window at the bottom, and if you've got a pilot light there, you'll then continue to hold down the gas valve for a further 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release the valve after that amount of time. At that point, you can control the temperature of the heater on the dial on top. To turn the gas supply back off to the heater, you'll spin it to the 0, and it will actually turn the gas off. On the left hand side at the top of the heater, you have your blown air heating switch. Now at the moment we've got the blown air on to create a bit of cool air inside the van. It isn't air conditioning, it is just a bit of cool air being blown around. So just here you have your continuous wave symbol, which means continuous blown air, and you've got your fan speed control on the dial on top. The dot in the centre indicates the heat is going to come out the front of the heater, and the blown air is going to be turned off. On the right hand side you have your thermostatic blown air. So essentially, if you've got it on the A on the right hand side, the blown air will kick in and out with the thermostat on board the van. However, if you want to run your continuous blown air, like I said, just so you can run it as a fan, you'll need to have it on the wave symbol on this side. So that is your heating and hot water systems. Microwave are very simple to use. Turn the dial and the microwave will kick in, as you'd expect to see. Never travel with the microwave plate in, always remove it prior to travelling. Going to go over to the fridge now. Again, the fridge is very simple to use. Oh, sorry, the hob, cooker and grill, again, very simple to use. Very much the same as your household appliances. As I said, we're going to come over to the fridge. So you've got the option of gas here at the top, and to get it to ignite on gas, again, you'd go to the, you'd ignite the hob first and then go from there. You'd then hold in the gas valve on the right hand side and hit the igniter at the same time. Once the fridge is ignited on gas, there's a little red line here that you can't quite see at the moment. That little red line will actually come up past this black line here to let you know the fridge has ignited on gas. Once it has ignited on gas, you can control the temperature of the fridge on the dial on the right hand side. Mains power, you'll simply spin the dial to the mains option, and again you'll control the temperature of the fridge on the dial on the right hand side. 12 volt mode. Now the 12 volt mode is actually the car's 12 volt power supply, not the Caravan's 12 volt supply. So to operate the fridge on 12 volt, you need to make sure you're connected to the car. Come inside the Caravan, turn the dial around to the 12 volt option, and then you'll be able to run the fridge as a cool box while you're travelling down the road. Now it will not work as a fridge, it is just a cool box. So essentially it will keep the beers and wine at a temperature you've already got them to in the fridge at home. Turn the fridge back off, you spin it to the off position on the right hand side. Last thing we go through on the Caravan is the toilet system. The toilet itself has an electric flush, so you press the button on top. You have a toilet full indicator light, so that light there will illuminate red when the toilet waste cassette is full underneath on this in the side of the Caravan. The toilet seat does turn for your convenience, however when you're removing the toilet cassette from underneath the van, you need to make sure that toilet seat is pointing straight again. or is in line with the blue button at the back. If it isn't, then it will not allow you to remove that cassette due to the fact it has a lockout tab on it. Below the toilet you have your grey waste handle to allow the toilet waste into the cassette under the van. So you essentially push that across and that will allow the waste to go straight into the cassette. To seal the toilet back up, you'll pull that grey handle back across and that will allow you to remove the cassette from underneath the van. So this is the Bailey Ranger GT60. If you have any further questions on the van, please don't hesitate to call and we'd be more than happy to help. We look forward to seeing you here on site soon to collect your caravan, and we very much appreciate the business. Thank you for now. Bye bye.